So as I sit around and wait for the Mega XL blasters to end up in my hands, I figured I'd go ahead and take a step ahead of Hasbro and release the Mega Jolt. Now, full disclosure, this is a blaster designed by MeakerArms, and this right here is actually the Mk28. So I did not make this thing. I purchased the files online, printed it out, gave it a little paint job, and found a ammo type, a custom ammo type, that today I want to show you how to make these. They are pretty close to the Mega XL. If you have seen American Foam's video, he actually was able to get a hold of some of these, well, the real thing. And so I was able to basically come up with this design. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Meaker, we're going to show you how to make these, and then we're going to go outside and shoot them around and see how they perform. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So let's head on over to the workbench and let me show you exactly what these are and how simple they are to make. So the key ingredients for this build is this weird water bomb thing. It basically has a spongy water thing that you kind of put water in it and I guess you go like this and fling it at people. But the thing that caught my eye was the diameter of this missile, and I was potentially going to try to use these fins, but for this build we don't need the fins. And I got this at a store called Big Lots. So I'm not sure if this is obtainable online. I'm gonna try to look around and see if I can find a link. But let's get some measurements so we can kind of get an idea what these things look like. So here's one out of the package. This is a fresh one, which they're right under 30 mil. It's like 29.5. I know the Mega XLs are like, I think they're right at 30 or 31 millimeter. So they're very close, which is cool. The most important about this though is this. This is a demolisher post. As you can see, that fits perfectly on a demolisher post. Very cool. The other part is this head here, which some of you might recognize, but that's from these. Popper balls. These I know are pretty easy to get. You can get these online. I got these at like a sportsman type place or like a hunting store like Cabela's or whatnot. Put a little shoe glue on there. Well, you cut them in half, put a little shoe glue, and you got a Mega XL. The other part of this to basically make note of is the overall length, because this one is actually a little shorter than the standard Mega XL. I think the Mega XL is over, I know it's over 100 millimeters. This one's at almost 104 millimeters. I think the Mega XL is closer to 110, so it's a little bit longer, but I'm fine with that. And the other thing to know is this hole is different on a Mega XL. I actually prefer the demolisher size hole because this thing is going to be able to shoot out of any demolisher launcher, which we will talk more about in a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and build some of these so I can show you how easy they are to make. You basically cut off this back fin. I just use a long blade. These are the blades that go into like box cutters that you break off. But I found if you use the entire blade, it works really well. So basically I just start by taking off this back fin area. I just want to cut it right as close as I can to the back fin, and I just kind of rotate and just kind of make cuts. You're just following that line. Once you get that cut off, I usually just take a little pliers, grab that inner foam core, just pull that thing out. We don't need that. That leaves you a nice, clean opening. I usually just peel this back and just kind of pull this off. You don't need this big foam piece here. And just to make it easier to deal with, I usually just cut this off. Just kind of snip the rubber piece off, it makes it easier to cut. So once you get that, we're just gonna do a similar thing as we did on the back. Just kind of flush it up and just cut it. Trying to be as straight as possible. So after you're done, you should have this kind of core on here. We'll go ahead and leave that for weight because it also gives us something to mount the popper ball onto. Now we get a popper ball. I'm gonna go ahead and use blue for this one. And this is the tricky part. I'm thinking about making some type of jig or something that holds the ball where I can make a perfect cut down the middle. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and just make a cut. And if it gets messed up too much, you can just try it again. It's not a big deal. Essentially just want to get something like that. And let me grab some shoe glue. This tube has seen better days, but it says shoe glue. I believe you can get this at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a hardware store. It's basically like a rubber cement kinda, but it works really well when gluing foam together. Just get a little bit on there. Just kind of give it a little spin just so it's all evenly dispersed. Another Mega XL dart. So I'm gonna make more of these. I'm gonna make about, actually I'll just finish all these up. Well, this one's almost done. I'll go ahead and just cut that real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep this in the package just so I can try to find more of these. I'm gonna finish making these two and we'll go from there. Now the powerhouse to this build is the Nerf Rival Knockout. And over here we have some parts from Meaker. This thing launches demolisher rockets and basically fits right over this. This is actually a very simple build guide, and I'm going to put a link in the description to the designer of this. If you would like to purchase this is called the Meaker, I think it's version 28. And like I said, this allows for a demolisher rocket post to be inserted onto a knockout, which makes just an awesome platform. If you need a big giant pistol to whip out and blast away a massive zombie or a super or whatnot, this is probably one of your best options. So I got a knockout here. Let's go ahead and pop this out of the box. Knockouts are becoming one of my favorite platforms to work on because they're compact, they have amazing plunger tube diameter, and they have good ergo for the most part. For those of you who are not familiar with the knockout, it is a rival blaster. You hit this little thing, you can basically load the breech, close it, prime it, and you got a really powerful pop. So awesome platform. It's actually a really good blaster if you just need a quick sidearm. They're usually pretty cheap. I find them anywhere from $5 up to like 12 or so. But yeah, these things are just amazing. For those of you that have followed the channel for a bit, this is the Flux Redux, which was done by France Foamworks, also utilizing a knockout. So you can quickly see the knockout has a lot of applications. Anything from shooting, Mega, Rival, inline clips, single loaded breech, because I know there is a single loaded one. This one, I can't remember. It's like a 4 or 5 internal, with a scar. I mean, it's just amazing all the stuff you can do. And one person in particular that really admires and understands the power of the knockout platform is MeakerArms. MeakerArms has a lot of different variants of this. I think there's even stuff that takes shells, like has a front, essentially like the front opens, you can put Spring Thunder shells in or other shells, I believe. I don't know if he's in Trilogy, but there's just a ton of really cool Meaker stuff. Check them out. And if you're looking for a sidearm that just kind of completes your loadout, Meaker probably offers something for you. After getting this thing put together, it's quite clear this is a really cool little compact missile system, if you will. Now, if you're not aware, this Meaker Mk28 is designed to fire demolisher rockets, but it looks like there's a lot of different barrel attachments to put different type of PVC pipe on there, and you can actually fire a whole range of different stuff. And that's what's really cool about MeakerArms, is just how modular his designs are. They're really cool. So fortunately these, well, I'm gonna call these knockoff Mega XLs because they're not the real thing. And to be honest, I don't think they perform that great. So let's go ahead and take these things outside and play with them. And also we're gonna try this out with just demolisher rockets and see how it does. So let's head outside. So we're outside with the chronograph. I'm gonna be getting numbers off of these. These are little Valentines. They're basically like a knockoff demolisher rocket, and I believe they're a little bit more accurate. So these are probably gonna be pretty slow. I don't even know if I can get a good reading off of them. So we'll also grab some readings of the XL knockoffs that I made and see how fast they travel. So I got a target set up at 25 feet, so we're gonna see how accurate the missiles are and then the fake Mega XLs. After taking the Meaker Mk28 outside and doing some testing with it, I can tell you that as a demolisher missile launcher, this thing is really cool. The sweet Valentines that I have fired very well, actually more accurate than my Fortnite demolisher rockets. If you're not familiar, these are the Fortnite demolisher rockets, and I don't have much luck with these. They are not that accurate. So I will be buying more of these. I'm very happy with these. As you can see, the fins on these are a little bit more aggressive, so it does help. It puts a little spin on it. And of course, I am finding that the density of the foam and the weight and all that stuff is super critical when firing darts. Which leads me to the next subject. I guess you can't win them all, but I hope that this gets people thinking about how to make a good alternative dart. However, I'm gonna have to say these things were not that accurate. So I don't know if that's because of the weight of the head is not heavy enough, possibly, because I got a lot of fishtailing. They were inaccurate, very inaccurate. So that could be part of, like I said, the weight of the head. And also, this tube I have in here is not long enough to reach through the entire body of the dart. So further testing, I'm probably going to cut these down and see if that helps with accuracy. But for now, I just want to kind of let everyone discuss about these and basically see everyone's opinion. Is this something worth pursuing? Do you think I should continue working on these darts? I have seen the Blue Meanie, which I'll put a link in the description. That is a really good dart. To be honest, I really want to get a hold of some actual Mega XLs and possibly cut them in half and take a look at what exactly is going on in there, and also just see how accurate they are. So in conclusion, can I recommend making some homemade darts? I encourage people to experiment and try new things. And if you want to try these darts, if you're able to find some of these, you know, at like a dollar store or something, yeah, I highly encourage it. Just mess around, see what you can get going. Now, as far as the Meaker Mk28, I highly recommend this thing. The files are very cheap online if you have access to a 3D printer. The prints are very easy to print out. The installation is super easy, and knockouts are very abundant right now. I believe this one I actually got for like $6, but the standard is about $10. I've seen a lot of $10 knockouts. So if you need a quick solution to like a super zombie or a shield or whatnot, and you want to really lay down some punishment, keep one of these on your hip and just pull it out and boom. That's a hand cannon. Well, I'm DrFlux. I want to thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, happy foam flinging.